Would you like to make a cheap, lightweight handle for your wood turning tools, but not out of wood? Keep watching.
Hi y'all, welcome to my shop and Happy New Year. Today I want to show you an alternative to making a wood turning tool handle out of wood, like this. Okay, so you need a new handle. Perhaps it's a replacement handle, perhaps it's a handle for a new tool you've got. Why PVC? Well, it's cheap. You can buy this Schedule 40 PVC from your home development store. I think I got about 10 foot for I believe about $3. You want to use the thick Schedule 40, not the thin stuff. I had this piece left over from curtain rod I made for my green screen. Making this tool doesn't require an aluminum collet. If you had to buy a collet, it's going to cost you $15 to $20 if you get one commercially, because we're going to turn that collet and add the set screw, and we're going to turn a butt cap to put in the to block the other end. One of the things I like about this tool is it's lightweight. Makes it great for small tools. If you're demonstrating or you carry your tools away from home a lot, having a lightweight is certainly nice. It's also interchangeable. You can easily adjust the set screw and take out the tool, possibly reverse it, or for a larger tool you can take it out for sharpening. So that's a nice feature. So what's it take? Let me show you on the screen. It's going to take some Schedule 40 PVC, like I mentioned, and I'm using 3/4 inch. That's 3/4 is the inside diameter. You could get 1 inch if you have big hands or you're doing a bigger tool. You need a dry piece of wood, maybe about 1 1/4 inch by 1 1/4 inch, maybe larger if you're using a larger piece of pipe, about 6 inches long. You're going to use a threaded wood insert. I used 8/24, but I believe a 1/4 by 20 is probably a better fit, and you're going to need a matching set screw 3/8 inch long, and you can get those from your neighborhood hardware store for maybe $1.50. Generally, commercial tools that you get have the handles permanently fastened, but I use the term permanently rather loosely because you can put this thing in a vise, knock it out with a hammer fairly easily. I've never seen a commercial tool that had the tool epoxied in, so they're not that difficult to remove if you're replacing an existing tool handle. I did an earlier video on making wood tool handles, and you can click on the link here if you want to get to it, where I have a full discussion on sizes that and other considerations for tools, in case you missed that earlier video. Okay, first we're going to decide the tool length. We're going to cut it with a hacksaw. I want a 5:1 handle to tool ratio, 5 inches of the handle compared to 1 inch of the tool hanging over the tool rest. Since this is going to be for a small tool, for spindle work, I decided 8 inches is going to be plenty big. So because of the wood, I only need about 7 inches of pipe. If you choose to use a bandsaw or a chop saw, be sure to have it clamped or in a V-block, as shown in this clip, or it can rotate, leading to accidents. And you can remove any burrs with sandpaper wrapped around a large dowel. So select your piece of hardwood, and you're going to mount it between centers. I've got some small scroll chuck jaws that can hold something this small, but I know a lot of you may not have a small set of jaws, so let me show you an easy way to do this. You're going to turn it around between centers and make a tenon with a shoulder. I'm going to use a 1 inch drill bit just because it's handy, but you could use a 3/4 inch or 7/8 inch. Just turn your tenon appropriately. I use a waste block at least 1 inch thick that you can mount in a chuck, or you can use a threaded glue block, or you can attach it to a faceplate. You drill your hole about 7/8 inch deep into your glue block. Turn the tenon to match and glue it in. Then I use a tailstock with a live center to hold it in place until the glue dries. First, we're going to turn an end cap about 2 inches long with tailstock support. You're going to mark a line. Actually, I marked one line 3/4 inch and then another one 3/4 inches from that. We're going to use calipers to make a parting cut to the depth of the PVC, or close to 3/4 inches in diameter for this PVC. You want to measure your pipe diameters. In my experience, it runs a little large. This needs to fit snugly inside the PVC handle, and we're going to set this aside after we finish to glue in with epoxy later. Next, after we've removed the butt cap, we're going to bring up the live center for support, and we're going to measure down about 3/4 of an inch, and then another 3/4 of an inch. We're going to use calipers to measure the inside of the pipe. We're going to part that down deep on both sides of the end and bring the rest down to that size. When we get it fitted what we think is appropriately, we're going to test fit it. It should be snug but not sloppy. We're going to size the next section then to match the outside diameter of the PVC. Make a parting cut no more than about 3/8 of an inch deep, and then we're going to shape the butt handle, and then we're going to part it off with a parting tool. Next, we take the remaining scrap and we continue to work on our collet. We size the outside to 3/4 of an inch. Using a parting tool, we set the correct diameter. I'm suggesting making the collet about 3 inches long. That's large enough to fit inside snugly for about 2 inches with a collar to match outside of the pipe of somewhere around 3/4 of an inch. So size the tenon, make the parting cut. Then we're going to test fit it. Then we're going to size and shape the outside of that collet so it fits snug or smooth against the PVC. Now, before we part this off, we need to drill a hole appropriate for you to match your tool size. I'm going to use a 1/4 inch drill bit because I'm making this handle for a 1/4 inch tool, and I'm using a long drill bit that I use for my depth holes on bowls. It just happens to be a 1/4 of an inch. Next, we're going to use a center punch to mark where we're going to drill the hole for the threaded wood insert. And then I'm going to drill that hole, and you want to make sure you're using the appropriate size drill bit. Now, after we get it screwed in this case I actually had to go get a larger screwdriver. And then I filed it down just a little bit. This is a brass insert, so I got it down about as far as it could go. Now it's time to mix up some epoxy and glue in the cap and the collet. I just stirred it up a little bit, rubbed it on liberally, and put in the butt cap, and then did the same thing for the collet. And I tapped it down a little bit to make sure it was seated well. Now you could add a wrap to your handle if you wanted. You could use a tennis racket handle, or you could spray rubber grip on it. Now put your tool in, add that set screw, and you're done. As we start the new year, I need your help. I need you to give me your thoughts as to what you'd like to see in videos in the coming months, and just post them as a comment to this video. Y'all come back next Friday here.